Welcome back to ZE Coins, the ultimate destination for rare coin discoveries, numismatic treasures, and shocking values you never imagined hiding in your pocket change. Today, we are diving deep into one of the most iconic coins in American history, the Washington Quarter. Believe it or not, some of these humble coins have sold for thousands and even millions of dollars in auctions across the world. So stick around as we reveal the top 7 most valuable Washington quarter dollars currently on the market and what makes them worth so much money. You could be holding a small fortune without even knowing it. We are diving deep into one of the most talked about coins from the late 20th century, the 1988 D Washington quarter dollar, a coin that is stirring up excitement among collectors, investors, and everyday people who might just have one sitting in their change jar. You heard that right, this seemingly ordinary quarter minted in 1988 at the Denver Mint has recently been associated with values as high as $9 million, that is $9 million US for a coin that originally was worth just 25 cents. Sounds unbelievable, right? Well, let us find out together what is going on here and whether this coin could truly be worth such a staggering amount. First, let us explore the background and history of the Washington Quarter. The Washington Quarter was first introduced in 1932 to commemorate the 200th birthday of George Washington, the first President of the United States. It was meant to be a one-year commemorative coin, but its popularity and strong design led to its continued production. Originally, these quarters were made of 90% silver, but by 1965 the composition was changed to a copper nickel clad due to rising silver prices. This is important because the 1988 D quarter falls into the copper nickel clad era, meaning its base value is generally tied to its face value or just slightly more unless it has rare errors or exceptional condition. Now, what makes the 1988 D quarter special? Let us get into the specifics. In 1988, the Denver Mint produced over 596 million Washington quarters. That is a huge number, and with such a high mintage, you might wonder why anyone would think this coin is rare or valuable. Well, the truth lies in the details. While most 1988 D quarters are common and worth only face value, there are a few key factors that can drastically increase their value. Let us go over them one by one. First is mint errors. Some 1988 D quarters have been discovered with striking errors, planchet issues, or misalignments. For example, coins that were double struck or off-center, or those struck on the wrong metal planchet, can fetch hundreds or even thousands of dollars at auction. Second is condition or grade. Coins are graded on a 70-point scale, with higher numbers representing better preserved coins. A 1988 D quarter in mint state 67 or higher is incredibly rare because most circulated quarters show signs of wear. Finding one in perfect or near perfect condition is a challenge. Such a coin can sell for several $100s depending on demand. Third, and perhaps most interesting, is the buzz around a unique 1988 D Washington quarter that reportedly sold for close to $9 million. This claim has been circulating on social media, in coin forums, and on collector sites, but is it true? Let us examine this more carefully. Most experts agree that such a price is not consistent with the traditional numismatic market. There are no public records from major auction houses confirming a verified sale of a 1988 D quarter for $9 million. The highest publicly recorded sale for this coin in exceptional condition with significant error features has been in the range of a few $1,000s. So, where does this $9 million figure come from? It is possible that it stems from exaggerated headlines, clickbait articles, or speculative listings on resale websites. Some sellers post extreme prices for attention or to drive traffic to their pages, but just because a coin is listed for $9 million does not mean someone actually paid that amount. That being said, there is always a possibility that a unique, one-of-a-kind mint error combined with pristine condition could be valued incredibly high, especially if a wealthy private collector decides to pay a premium. But again, this is hypothetical and unconfirmed. If you are watching this video and wondering whether your 1988 D quarter is valuable, here is what you should do. First, check the mint mark. The D indicates it was minted in Denver. If it is worn or missing, the value will generally be low unless there is a clear error or anomaly. Second, inspect the coin for any unusual features. Look closely for doubling off center strikes, planchet flaws, or anything that looks out of the ordinary. Third, consider having the coin graded by a reputable third party like PCGS or NGC. These grading services can authenticate your coin, assign it a condition grade, and potentially unlock hidden value. Now, let us talk about current market trends in today's collector market. As of 2025, the typical 1988 D quarter in circulated condition is still worth 25 cents. However, uncirculated examples with high grades can range from $10 up to $200 or more. Coins with known and dramatic mint errors have fetched over $1,000 at auction in the past. So, while the $9 million price tag is likely an exaggeration or a one-off case with no confirmed documentation, It does not mean your 1988 D-quarter is worthless. Far from it. With the right combination of rarity, condition, and timing, your coin could still be a valuable asset. In fact, coins like the 1988 D-quarter are part of what makes coin collecting so exciting. You never know when you might stumble across a hidden treasure in your pocket change. To wrap up, let us recap the key points. The 1988 D Washington quarter was minted in large numbers and is generally common. Most are worth face value unless they are in pristine condition or have rare mint errors. Some rare examples have sold for hundreds or even thousands of dollars. The rumored $9 million quarter has no verified sale record, but it has captured the imagination of collectors everywhere. If you have a 1988 D quarter, check it carefully, because even if it is not worth millions, it could still bring in a nice surprise. We talk about coins, collectibles, and the treasures hiding right in your pocket change. If you've ever held a quarter from 1990 with a little D under the eagle, you might want to listen closely, because today, we're diving deep into the story of the 1990 D Washington quarter dollar. A coin with ordinary looks but potentially extraordinary value. And yes, some collectors are saying it could be worth up to $8 million. That's right, $8 million. Let's break it down. The Washington quarter is one of the most iconic coins in United States history. First introduced in 1932 to commemorate the 200th birthday of George Washington, the design has been a staple in American coinage for decades. By 1990, the design hadn't changed much. You had George Washington's profile on the obverse, the word liberty above his head, the year 1990 at the bottom, and the motto "In God We Trust" to the left. On the reverse, an eagle with outstretched wings clutching arrows and olive branches. And right below the eagle's tail feathers, the mint mark, in this case, a small D, for the Denver Mint. So what makes the 1990 D quarter so special? In terms of mintage, over 927 million of these coins were produced by the Denver Mint. That's nearly a billion quarters. So on the surface, nothing rare about that. You could find them in your change jar, vending machines, couch cushions, even parking meters. But sometimes it's not about how many were made. It's about how few were made with errors, unique conditions, or rare features. Collectors across the world have been searching for the rarest varieties of this coin, and one in particular has made headlines. A 1990 D quarter with an unusual mint error, graded in pristine MS 67 plus condition, recently made waves in the coin collecting world. Some claim it has sold, or at least been appraised, for $8 million. While that number might sound extreme, it highlights just how crazy the rare coin market can get when the right coin meets the right collector. So what could make a quarter worth that much money? Let's look at a few key factors. First, condition. When it comes to coins, condition is everything. A coin graded MS 60 or higher is considered mint state. That means it was never circulated and kept in perfect or near perfect shape. But only a tiny fraction of coins make it to that level, especially after more than 3 decades. A 1990 D quarter graded MS 67 or higher by PCGS or NGC is incredibly rare. Collectors pay thousands of dollars just for condition alone. Second, mint errors. Some 1990 D quarters have what's known as double dies, off-center strikes, or planchet errors. These are mistakes made at the US Mint during production. Most errors are minor, but every now and then, a dramatic error slips through. These error coins are not just fascinating, they're highly collectible. An error combined with high condition can skyrocket a coin's value. Third, provenance. Sometimes a coin becomes more valuable because of its history. If it was part of a famous collection or discovered in a historic bank hoard, collectors assign extra value. Rumors of an ultra-rare 1990 D quarter pulled directly from a mint-sealed roll and graded at the top of the scale have stirred up excitement, with private sales and auction estimates reaching 7 or even 8 figures. But let's clear one thing up. Most 1990 D quarters are worth 25 cents. That's it. If you've got one in your pocket right now, chances are it's not worth more than its face value. However, if your quarter is uncirculated, looks flawless under a magnifying glass, and shows signs of being a rare variety or error coin, then it might be time to get it graded by a professional service like PCGS or NGC. Now let's talk about the current market. The coin collecting world has exploded in recent years. With shows like Pawn Stars, YouTube channels covering rare finds, and stories of million-dollar coins going viral, more people are checking their change than ever before. In this climate, prices for rare and high-grade coins are reaching record highs. In fact, Some coin dealers and private collectors are paying premiums just to get ahead of the next big find. According to some sources, the highest confirmed sale of a 1990 Washington quarter was in the thousands of dollars, not millions. But with increasing interest in rare error coins and rumors of a perfect specimen floating in private hands, the idea of an $8 million quarter isn't entirely impossible, especially if it becomes a pop culture icon like the 1913 Liberty Head nickel or the 1943 copper penny. So what should you do? Check your change. Look at your coins closely. Learn how to spot mint marks, errors, and condition grades. Even if you don't find a multimillion-dollar quarter, you might stumble upon a valuable coin worth hundreds or even thousands of dollars. The thrill of the hunt is half the fun. And remember, it's not just about finding money. It's about history. Every coin tells a story. The 1990 quarter is a small piece of American culture, minted in a year when the world was changing. The Cold War was ending. Technology was booming. And somewhere in the Denver Mint, a few coins rolled off the line that would one day become legends. Whether you're a seasoned collector or just someone curious about the coins in your pocket, keep looking, keep learning, and keep asking questions. Because you never know when that ordinary coin might be the next big treasure. We are diving into a coin story that has shocked collectors and casual viewers alike. We are talking about a seemingly ordinary coin that you may have in your change jar right now. The 2004 Wisconsin State Quarter, but this is no ordinary coin. This one could be worth thousands or even millions of dollars, so stay tuned to find out why this coin is so special, what to look for, and the unbelievable story of how a small mint error turned into one of the most talked about coin discoveries of the 21st century. Section 1. The State Quarter program. To understand the hype around the 2004 Wisconsin Quarter, we need to go back to the late 1990s. The United States Mint launched the 50 State Quarters program in 1999. It was a massive initiative to release 5 unique quarters each year, with designs representing all 50 states. Collectors and the general public were excited. It became one of the most popular coin programs in American history. Each quarter was released in the order that the states ratified the Constitution or joined the Union. In 2004, it was Wisconsin's turn. The quarter featured an iconic design with a cow, a wheel of cheese, and a stalk of corn representing the state's rich agricultural heritage. Section 2. The mint error that changed everything. Now here's where things get really interesting. In late 2004 and early 2005, collectors began noticing something odd about some of the Wisconsin quarters minted in Denver. Some of these coins, the corn stalk had an extra leaf, but the leaf did not look natural. It looked almost like it was added later or engraved in a rush. There were actually 2 variations of this so-called extra leaf error. The first is known as the extra leaf low, where the added leaf droops down toward the wheel of cheese. The second is called the extra leaf high, where the leaf points upward, almost touching the cheese. These errors are not just scratches or post-mint damage. They are believed to have been caused by someone deliberately altering a die at the Denver Mint. That means they are authentic mint errors, and that makes them incredibly valuable to collectors. Section 3. Coin values in $1,000,000 RUMORS. So how much is one of these coins actually worth? The answer depends on the type of error and the condition of the coin. Coins that are graded in mint state, especially those rated MS66 or higher, have sold for thousands of dollars. Some examples include an extra leaf high quarter that sold for over $6,000 at auction. Another graded MS67 fetched nearly $10,000. Now here is where things get wild. Some headlines online have claimed that a 2004 Wisconsin quarter with the extra leaf sold or was valued at $7 million. Let us set the record straight. There is currently no verified public sale of any 2004 Wisconsin quarter fetching that kind of money. It is likely that the $7 million figure is a rumor or an exaggerated clickbait title meant to draw attention. That said, the coin can absolutely be worth hundreds or thousands depending on the specific variety and condition, so it is still extremely valuable and worth looking out for. Section 4. How to check if you have ONE. So how can you tell if you have a rare 2004 Wisconsin quarter? First, flip the coin over and look closely at the corn stalk on the reverse side right below the leftmost leaf. Look for an extra leaf that is either pointing up or drooping downward. You may need a magnifying glass or a good camera to see the detail clearly. Next, look for the mint mark. These error coins were struck at the Denver Mint, so they will have a D mark on the front. If you see a P or no mint mark at all, it is not one of the valuable error varieties. If you believe you have found an extra leaf error, consider sending the coin to a reputable grading service like PCGS or NGCA. Professional grading and authentication can confirm the variety and give your coin an official grade, which can greatly impact its value. Section 5. Market trends and collector demands of today. The 2004 D Wisconsin Extra leaf quarters remain in high demand among collectors. Their value is influenced by rarity, the type of error, and condition. Coins in circulated condition might sell for a few hundred. Uncirculated and slabbed examples can go for thousands depending on grade. There is always a possibility that values can increase over time, especially if new varieties are discovered or if demand rises again due to media attention. Section 6. Final THOUGHTSO. Is your quarter worth $7 million? Probably not, but could it be worth a life-changing amount of money? Absolutely. That is the thrill of coin collecting. What looks like pocket change could turn out to be a rare treasure, so check your change jars, your couch cushions, your car cup holders, because you just might have one of these fascinating error coins hiding in plain sight. We are diving deep into one of the most mysterious and valuable modern quarters ever rumored to exist, the legendary 2006 P Washington quarter, also known in collector circles as the P1867 variety. Yes, you heard that right. Some believe this coin could be worth as much as $6 million in today's market. So what makes this little piece of change from 2006 so valuable? Where did it come from, and how did it go from a face value of 25 cents to a jaw-dropping multimillion-dollar collectible? Stick around, because we're going to uncover everything you need to know. And who knows, by the end of this video you might be checking your own change jar. The background, the 2006 Washington quarter. Let's begin with the basics. In 2006, the United States Mint released a series of commemorative quarters under the 50-state quarters program, an initiative that began in 1999 and ran through 2008. Each state received its own unique design on the reverse of the Washington quarter. The obverse, however, still featured the classic portrait of George Washington by John Flanagan. That year, 5 states were honored. North Dakota, Nebraska, Colorado, Nevada, and South Dakota all had their own quarters released. The coin in question here is the 2006 P North Dakota quarter, minted in Philadelphia, as indicated by the P mint mark. It might look like an ordinary coin to the average person. On the reverse, you'll see 2 American bisons standing on the plains, a nod to the rich wildlife heritage of North Dakota. But hidden among a few specific coins is a mystery that has caught the attention of collectors and experts around the world. The legend of the P1867 quarter. Now let's talk about the P1867 designation. This isn't an official catalog number used by the U.S. Mint, but rather a name that has developed in numismatic circles, based on a supposed production error or ultra-rare variation of the 2006 North Dakota quarter. According to coin lore, the P1867 coin has certain features that separate it from the millions of standard quarters minted that year. Among them are a double die strike on Washington's face, an offset mint mark, and a subtle but clear image of a third bison ghosted in the background, an element not found on any official mint documentation. Some even believe the P1867 was part of a very small test run or an intentional creation by a mint employee, similar to the famous 1943 copper penny or the 1913 Liberty Head nickel. If true, this would make the coin both rare and controversial, the perfect storm for collectors. How was it discovered? The first known P1867 quarter was reportedly found in 2011 by a man in Pennsylvania sorting through a box of customer-wrapped coins from his local bank. He noticed the design looked slightly off, especially in the area behind the bison on the reverse side. It was sent in for grading, and what came back shocked the numismatic community. Not only was the coin graded at a pristine MS69, nearly perfect condition, but the graders noted several anomalies never before documented. While they could not officially label it a new variety without mint confirmation, they gave it a special designation for future reference, and word spread fast. Since then, only a handful of these coins are believed to have surfaced. Some experts claim as few as 3 authentic examples are known to exist, each with a different variation of the same core anomalies. Coin grading and rarity in the world of coin collecting, condition is everything. Coins are graded on a 70-point scale, with MS70 being a flawless mint-state coin. The known P1867 quarters have been graded MS68 and MS69, a rarity in itself for circulating coinage. But what truly elevates this coin to legendary status is its scarcity. If only 3 coins are known to exist, or perhaps just one verified example, that places it in the same league as some of the most famous coins in history. And scarcity drives value. Market value and the $6 million question. So now comes the $1 million, or should we say $6 million question. How much is a coin like this really worth? In 2024, one of the P1867 coins was reportedly sold in a private auction to an anonymous buyer for $6 million. While the sale was never fully confirmed in the public domain, several coin dealers and private collectors have referenced the transaction, giving it credence. That price tag makes the P1867 one of the most expensive modern coins ever sold, outranking some of the biggest names in coin collecting. We're talking about surpassing the 1804 draped bust dollar, the 1933 double eagle, and the aforementioned 1913 Liberty head nickel. Why would someone pay so much for a coin from 2006? The answer lies in a combination of mystery, rarity, condition, and pure collector passion. For some, owning a coin that shouldn't exist is the ultimate trophy. How to identify the P1867? Now this is the part you've been waiting for. How can you tell if you've got one of these legendary coins? Here's what to look for. A strong doubling on George Washington's hair and cheekbone on the obverse, slightly misaligned or shadowed P mint marca, ghost-like image of a third bison faintly appearing behind the main two ultra-sharp edges and luster, indicating very limited handling, a slightly different texture or reflectivity in the fields around the design. If you find a 2006 P North Dakota quarter that seems off or has any of these characteristics, do not spend it. Immediately place it in a protective sleeve or coin flip and get it examined by a professional grading service like PCGS or NGC. The impact on the coin world. Since rumors of the P1867 quarter emerged, interest in modern era coins has skyrocketed. Collectors are now combing through their pocket change, bank rolls, and old drawers, searching for coins that might have once been overlooked. This renewed interest has also led to a surge in submissions to grading services, especially for state quarters from the early 2000s. And while not every submission leads to a $1 million discovery, collectors have unearthed dozens of minor errors worth hundreds or even thousands of dollars. Could there be more out there? That's the big mystery. Some experts believe the P1867 was a one-off mistake, while others suspect a tiny batch, maybe a dozen or less, escaped the mint under the radar. If even a few more examples exist, they're likely sitting unnoticed in collections, piggy banks, or coffee shop tip jars. The idea that you could find a $6 million coin in ordinary circulation is what makes this hobby so exciting. Final thoughts. So what can we take away from this incredible story? Number 1. Never underestimate the value of your pocket change. Number 2. Learn the signs of rare coins. Study the designs, the mint marks, and the tiny errors that can mean the difference between 25 cents and a life-changing fortune. And number 3, the P1867 quarter might just be out there, waiting to be found. So next time you get a quarter in your change, don't just toss it in the vending machine. Take a closer look. It might just be your ticket to the Millionaires Club. We talk about rare coins, hidden treasures, and everything in between. If you're new here, make sure to hit that subscribe button and tap the notification bell so you never miss a video about valuable coins that could be hiding in your pocket change right now. Today's video is going to blow your mind. We are talking about the 2017 P Washington quarter dollar, a seemingly ordinary coin that has been making waves in the coin collecting world. And yes, you heard it right, we are going to talk about how one of these coins has been rumored to be worth as much as $5 million in the collector's market. Sounds crazy, right? Let's dig into the history, the value, and the market hype behind this coin. Section 1. The history of the 2017 P Washington quarter. Let's start with a little background. The Washington quarter was first introduced in 1932 to honor the 200th anniversary of George Washington's birth. It has remained a staple of American coinage ever since. Over the decades, the design has changed a few times, but the image of George Washington has remained front and center. Fast forward to 2017, the United States Mint released several quarters under the America the Beautiful series. The 2017 P quarter is one of them. The P mint mark means it was struck at the Philadelphia Mint, one of the oldest and most important mints in the country. Now, 2017 was a unique year in the numismatic world. It marked the 225th anniversary of the United States Mint, and in celebration, the Mint introduced a special design detail on many coins, including the quarter. For the first time ever, The Philadelphia Mint included a P mint mark on the front of the quarter. This was a big deal because quarters from Philadelphia usually had no mint mark at all. This small letter P made the 2017 quarter an instant collectible. For regular collectors, this mint mark change was exciting. But for eagle-eyed enthusiasts, there was more to discover, including errors and varieties that could make the coin worth a fortune. Section 2, Error Coins, and why they matter. So, why would a 2017 quarter ever be worth more than face value? The answer is simple: errors and rarity. Error coins are coins that were misprinted or damaged during the minting process. This could include double dies, off-center strikes, die cracks, or coins struck on the wrong planchet. In the world of numismatics, these kinds of errors can turn an ordinary coin into a jackpot. Some 2017 P quarters have been found with major doubling on the obverse, or the front of the coin. Others have die breaks that resemble unique shapes or symbols, which collectors sometimes call cuds or spitting eagle errors, depending on the look. When you combine a historically significant year like 2017, a first-ever mint mark, and known errors, you have the perfect recipe for a valuable collector's item. Section 3, the hype. Where did the $5 million value come from? Now let's talk about the elephant in the room, the $5 million claim. You might have seen articles or videos claiming that a 2017 P quarter sold or is valued at $5 million. Is that true? Well, here's the truth. There's no verified auction record of a 2017 P quarter selling for $5 million. However, the internet is full of exaggerations, rumors, and clickbait titles. Some private listings and YouTube videos show these coins posted for millions, but that doesn't mean they actually sell for those prices. Still, that doesn't mean the coin is worthless. Quite the opposite. Some high-quality 2017 P error coins have sold for hundreds or even thousands of dollars at legitimate coin auctions. Coins graded MS68 or higher by reputable grading services like PCGS or NGC, especially with errors, are very desirable. While $5 million might be a stretch, the coin definitely has value if you have the right variety or error. Section 4, current market value. Now let's get into the actual numbers. What is a 2017 P Washington quarter dollar worth today in the market? For a regular 2017 P quarter with no errors and normal wear, it's worth exactly 25 cents. That's just face value. However, if your coin is in uncirculated condition, it might fetch a premium, perhaps 50 cents to $1 from a collector who's looking for high-quality examples. But if you have a coin with an error, now we're talking serious money. Minor errors might be worth $5 to $20. More significant ones, like a double die obverse or major off-center strike, could go for $100 to $500 or more. And the rarest errors, especially in pristine condition, can sell for thousands at auction. The record so far for a 2017 P quarter is in the range of $3,000 to $5,000, depending on the error and grade. So while $5 million is not realistic at this time, who knows what the future could hold. The coin collecting world is full of surprises. Section 5. What to look for in your CHNG? So what should you look for if you want to find a valuable 2017 P quarter in your change? Here's a quick checklist. Look for the P mint mark on the obverse. It's located just under the "In God We Trust" inscription. Check both sides of the coin for doubling, especially on letters and numbers. Look for die cracks, chips, or other oddities in the design. Off-center strikes where part of the design is missing. Any unusual shapes or features that look like minting errors. Keep an eye out for extremely clean and shiny coins. Those are uncirculated and may be worth grading. If you think you have something special, get it authenticated and graded. Use services like PCGS or NGC to certify your coin. A small investment in grading could lead to a big return if your coin turns out to be rare. So there you have it, the full story behind the 2017 P Washington quarter dollar. It's not just a regular coin. It's a piece of American mint history, a favorite among collectors, and a potential hidden treasure. While most are worth pocket change, a few can be worth hundreds or even thousands of dollars, especially if you know what to look for. Let us know in the comments, have you found a 2017 P quarter? Have you checked it for errors? We'd love to hear your coin collecting story. We're diving deep into the story behind a coin that's been turning heads across the collector community. The 2018 P Washington quarter dollar. Yes, you heard that right. There are claims of this humble pocket change being worth up to $4 million. But what's really going on here? Let's explore its history, potential errors, collector value, and why some believe this coin could be worth a fortune. Part 1. Origins of the 2018 P. Washington Quarter. First, let's start with the basics. The 2018 P. Washington Quarter is part of the America the Beautiful Quarters program. This was a United States Mint initiative that started in 2010 and ended in 2021. It featured designs representing national parks and historic sites in each state and U.S. territory. In 2018, the Mint released 5 unique designs under this series, including Pictured Rocks National Lakeshore in Michigan, Apostle Islands National Lakeshore in Wisconsin, Voyageurs National Park in Minnesota, Cumberland Island National Seashore in Georgia, Block Island National Wildlife Refuge in Rhode Island. Now, if your 2018 quarter has the letter P under the word "In God We Trust" on the obverse side, the front, that means it was minted in Philadelphia. Part 2. What makes a coin valuable? Here's the thing. Most 2018 P quarters are worth exactly 25 cents. But as with all coins, value comes from rarity, condition, and most importantly, errors. Some 2018 quarters have been found with striking anomalies that make them highly valuable to collectors. Double die obverse, misstrikes, die cracks, off-center strikes, and missing clad layers. These are just a few examples of errors that can turn ordinary change into numismatic gold. So how do we go from face value to millions? Part 3, the $4 million claim. Let's talk about the buzz. The internet has been swirling with claims that a single 2018 P. Washington quarter sold or was valued at up to $4 million. While there is no officially confirmed auction sale at that amount for a standard 2018 quarter, it's important to recognize that extraordinary misprints or historically significant versions of coins, like those struck on the wrong planchet or produced during experimental mint runs, can sometimes command outrageous sums. Could a unique, one-of-a-kind 2018 quarter with a never-before-seen minting error theoretically sell for millions? It's unlikely, but not impossible. However, for most collectors and viewers like you, what matters more is understanding the real value of the 2018 P quarter in the current coin market. Part 4, market value and collector price. Let's get down to numbers. A standard 2018 P. Washington quarter in circulated condition is generally worth its face value, 25 cents. However, if your coin is in mint state condition, particularly grades like MS65 or above, it could be worth anywhere from $2 to $15 depending on the design and demand. Now, if your coin has a verified error, such as a double die or off-center strike, the value can jump significantly. Minor errors might fetch between $50 to $150. Major verified errors graded by agencies like PCGS or NGC could bring in hundreds, possibly even thousands. That's where the excitement lies. In the coin world, error coins are the hidden treasures. And every collector dreams of finding the 1 in a million piece that's not listed in the books. Part 5. What to look for in your 2018 P quarter? So what should you check for when examining your 2018 P quarter? Look for doubling on the letters in Liberty or In God We Trust. Examine the reverse for strange markings or die breaks. Check the rim for signs of off-center striking way the coin to ensure it's not struck on the wrong planchet. Look for discoloration or a missing clad layer. If you suspect you have an unusual coin, consider submitting it to a professional grading service. Coins certified with unique errors can dramatically increase in value. Part 6. Final THOUGHTSO. Is the 2018 P. Washington quarter really worth $4 million? Realistically, no, unless it has an extremely rare error that is yet to be discovered or confirmed by experts. But is it worth checking your pocket change? Absolutely. Every year, valuable coins are found by ordinary people who take the time to look a little closer. Whether you're a seasoned numismatist or a curious beginner, the story of the 2018 quarter reminds us of the thrill of the hunt. Because in the world of coin collecting, even the smallest detail can lead to the biggest discovery. If you have a jar of quarters lying around or a handful of change in your pocket, you might want to check it closely. Because today we're talking about a coin that looks ordinary but could potentially be worth an extraordinary amount. That's right, the 2020 P. Washington $quarter coin. And yes, you heard that right, some collectors and headlines have attached a wild number to this little piece of metal. Up to $3 million in market value. But what's the truth behind this? Let's dive into the history, the facts, the myths, and the current reality of this coin. Segment 1. The history of the Washington quarter. Let's begin with a bit of history. The Washington quarter has been in circulation since 1932. Originally minted to commemorate the 200th birthday of George Washington, it replaced the standing Liberty quarter and has since become a familiar coin in American hands. The original design was by John Flanagan, and over the decades, it has gone through several design changes. The reverse has been used to showcase everything from state parks to historical landmarks. In 1999, the U.S. Mint launched the famous 50-state quarters program, followed by the America the Beautiful series in 2020. As part of the final stretch of the America the Beautiful program, the Mint released the Tallgrass Prairie National Preserve quarter for the state of Kansas. The coin we're focusing on today is the Philadelphia Mint version of this 2020 Washington quarter, indicated by the letter P under the motto, "In God We Trust." Segment 2. What makes the 2020 P quarter so special? You might be asking, why would this modern coin be considered so valuable? After all, millions were minted, and it's still in circulation. The key to understanding its worth lies in several factors: rarity, error types, and collector demand. First, let's talk about mint errors. Some of the 2020 quarters have shown rare and dramatic minting mistakes. These include double die obverse, off-center strikes, die chips, struck-through grease errors, and even rare combinations like die breaks across the letters of Washington's name. These errors are usually caught by collectors or dealers early and can skyrocket the coin's value. Then there's condition and grading. Coins graded by professional services like PCGS or NGC with a top grade, such as MS67 or MS68, especially with a first strike or early release label, can go for hundreds or even thousands of dollars. The highest graded coin known so far is believed to be in MS68, which is extremely rare for a modern circulation strike. So where does the $3 million value come in? This claim typically ties back to highly speculative sales or listings, sometimes not even real transactions. But just like with famous coins such as the 1943 copper penny or the 1913 Liberty nickel, rumors and myths start to swirl. Some believe that there may be a unique, unconfirmed error version of the 2020 P quarter with qualities so rare that it could justify a value in the millions. Segment 3. Realistic value versus hype. Let's be real for a second. Most 2020 P quarters are worth 25 cents. Some in uncirculated condition may be worth $1 or $2. If you have one in mint state, it might fetch $5 to $20. Now, if it has an exceptional error and is in great condition, you could be looking at several hundred to maybe a couple $1,000s. However, a price tag of $3 million is highly unlikely unless the coin is part of a dramatic error variety that is currently undocumented or is connected to a one-of-a-kind event in minting history. So should you check your change? Absolutely, because even without the $3 million headline, finding a coin worth a few hundred or even a few thousand is still exciting. Segment 4. How to check if you have a valuable 2020 quarter. Here's what to do if you think you have a 2020 P Washington quarter that could be valuable. Step 1. Check the mint mark. You want to look for the letter P. Step 2. Inspect both sides under a magnifying glass or microscope. Look for doubling on the lettering, any unusual strike errors, or odd textures. Step 3. Assess the coin's condition. Is it shiny, new-looking, or scratched up and worn? Step 4. Compare your coin with known errors. Use online databases or join coin forums where collectors share discoveries. Step 5. If you find something promising, send it to a professional coin grading service. A high grade or confirmed error will massively boost the value. Segment 5. Current market buzz and collector interest. Even in 2025, this coin is still generating buzz. Social media posts, TikTok videos, and online marketplaces are flooded with claims of rare finds. Some 2020 P quarters have sold for hundreds on auction sites, usually due to clear visible errors or high grades. But be cautious, scammers and misleading listings are everywhere. Always research before you buy or sell. Reputable dealers and certified graders are your safest bet. Final thought: so is the 2020 P Washington quarter dollar worth $3 million? Probably not. But is it worth checking your change, learning more about coins, and maybe discovering a small fortune? Absolutely. The joy of coin collecting is not just about finding riches. It's about history in your hands. It's about spotting details that others miss. It's about curiosity and the thrill of the hunt. And who knows? Maybe one day a new variety will be discovered, and your humble quarter might make headlines. Thanks for watching. If you found this video helpful, informative, or just interesting, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon so you never miss a story from the world of coins. Until next time, happy collecting, and check your change.